gang? Here we got another video that's probably about to just chop somebody's you know what in this comment section. Because the last video ruffled some feathers about comparing America to Europe. You know, some people got offended. It was like, oh, people are whining. Then go over there. Okay, we know who you are.
It's not that easy.
We know who you are who say go over there. We know. We can read through the comments. We know exactly who you are. But we about to react to American police compared to European police.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to see this one. I don't want to see this.
We got to do it. We got to do it.
We've all seen the headlines, the viral videos, the heated debates. American police, a force of good or a force of fear? As we delve deeper into the world of law enforcement, we'll uncover surprising differences between the US and Europe that might just change your perspective. Militarization, a unique American phenomenon. One of the most striking differences between American and European police forces is the level of militarization. In the US, many police departments, even in smaller towns, have access to military-grade equipment like armored vehicles, assault rifles, and drones, largely due to federal grants and a post-9/11 security mindset. This militarization has sparked concerns about excessive force and damaged relations between police and communities, particularly in marginalized areas. In contrast, European police forces generally adopt a more restrained approach. While some countries, like France or Spain, have specialized counterterrorism units, most European officers are equipped with less aggressive tools and focus on de-escalation, community policing, and non-lethal tactics. Training duration, a marathon versus a sprint. One of the most striking differences between US and European police forces is the length and depth of police training. In the United States, becoming a police officer often involves anywhere between 18 to 30 weeks of training at a police academy. This training is largely focused on physical fitness, firearms proficiency, and basic law enforcement tactics. While it's intense, it pales in comparison to the training that officers in many European countries undergo. In Europe, police officers typically train for much longer periods, often between 2 and 3 years before they're fully ready to hit the streets.
Damn. See, and I feel like that's correct.
I think, I think by what you got to learn and what
comes
is
with
out
it,
there.
mentally,
Yeah, I think it should take that.
Yeah.
There's so many codes and stuff out there. I think it's still officers that don't even know what code.
Not even that, but I'm pretty sure you can take a test for concealed carry, but I just feel like for the job and what I've seen it comes with, I felt that 18 to 30 weeks is not enough training.
But I think it's a reason why not a reason, but I think the reason why they do it is because it's short staff now. Like people just
not only that, but I feel like you have to do. I feel like me personally, I feel like you should do the 18 30 weeks, and then still while you're hired, you still have to go through these training things. I don't think it should be completely cut off.
But a little off topic, it's a lot of jobs that's serious jobs. Like I worked some serious careers, and some of these careers that I've went through, the training and what you need to know don't even compare. It's not even remotely close. Remotely close for training. Like, oh, you done. How am I supposed to know all this?
And you still don't know everything when you go to work.
And they want to throw you out there like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I feel like they should generally be longer times.
For example, in Germany, police recruits undergo approximately 3 years of rigorous training, which includes everything from law to psychology and conflict de-escalation techniques. Similarly, in the UK, police officers typically complete a 2-year probationary period, which includes comprehensive classroom instruction, on-the-job training, and ongoing assessments. This longer, more intensive training in Europe ensures that officers are better equipped to handle the complex nature of law enforcement, especially when it comes to understanding legal frameworks, dealing with mental health issues, and managing high-stress situations without the immediate use of force. Police accountability, transparency, and oversight. Police accountability is a hot topic in both the US and Europe, but the systems for ensuring it are quite different. In the US, there are often calls for police reform and greater oversight, especially following controversial incidents of police misconduct. While there are mechanisms for accountability, such as body cameras, civilian oversight boards, and internal investigations, the process is often seen as opaque and lacking in consistent results. In Europe, however, many countries have more robust oversight systems in place, particularly when it comes to police conduct. For example, in the UK, the Independent Office for Police Conduct, IOPC, is an independent body that investigates complaints against the police and ensures transparency in the system. In Norway, public trust in law enforcement is bolstered by independent review processes that allow citizens to file complaints and hold officers accountable for misconduct.
Dang.
Moreover, in countries like Sweden and the Netherlands, police misconduct is treated with the utmost seriousness, and officers found guilty of abuse or corruption are often swiftly held accountable through internal or external investigations.
And I feel like we so deep in the States, even if they change to this, how do you say? We so, I'm going to say trained, but it's such a bad taste in the States about cops from a lot of people that if you opened up this program, you got to have some Karens calling for real. Like, just because. Not even the officer doing it's going to be on some, like, it's some petty stuff. And then they're going to be held accountable for some BS. So they probably used to it because they've been doing this. You can't just bring this here.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be some ugly calls coming through for unnecessary. I mean, cops already get some unnecessary calls now. Imagine you open this up here.
True.
Ensuring greater public trust in the police force.
True. It creates trust.
The role of technology, surveillance versus privacy. In recent years, both U.S. and European police forces have begun utilizing advanced technology to aid in law enforcement. However, there's a stark difference in how technology is used and regulated. In the U.S., surveillance tools such as facial recognition technology, drones, and predictive policing algorithms are being employed by law enforcement agencies, sometimes with little regulation or oversight. This has raised concerns about privacy rights, particularly in light of incidents where these technologies have been used disproportionately against minority communities. On the other hand, in Europe, the use of surveillance technology is subject to strict data protection laws, such as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. European countries are much more cautious about the collection and use of personal data, and any surveillance activities are heavily scrutinized for their legality and necessity. The European Union has set high standards for police use of technology, often prioritizing individual privacy and freedoms over the unchecked expansion of surveillance tools. Policing and mental health. A major difference in approach. Policing in the U.S. often places a heavy burden on officers to handle a wide range of situations, including mental health crises. Unfortunately, the lack of proper training or resources can result in tragic outcomes, with police responding to mental health-related incidents with force instead of care. In the U.S., over 1 in 5 fatal police shootings involve individuals with mental health issues. In Europe, however, mental health training is often integrated into police education from the outset.
It's so crazy that this topic
That's
came up because we just had an incident here just recently with a mental health incident, and it ended in, I don't know if it was fatal. The video showed shooting of the person.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that person lived, but it was a mental health issue.
You can definitely tell.
But yeah, that's crazy. 1 in 5 is crazy.
Countries like Finland and the Netherlands have implemented specialized training and units to deal with mental health emergencies in a way that emphasizes care and understanding rather than punitive measures.
Wow.
In Finland, for example, officers are trained to recognize signs of mental distress and are equipped to handle situations calmly and effectively, often working in tandem with healthcare professionals to avoid violent escalation. Moreover, several European countries have separate mental health response teams that operate alongside the police, ensuring that individuals experiencing a crisis receive the appropriate care rather than being incarcerated or subjected to force. Civilian oversight, a patchwork system.
And not to sound like dumb in a sense, but can a person actually take these classes? Like, if somebody wanted to be a police officer, like, can they take these classes outside of the, like, academy or whatever? Like, is that available?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I wonder, like, that'll be good if they offer that for policemen. Like, let's say someone goes in and they're like, "Hey, but we do offer these classes if you want to take initiative and, take that."
Probably.
Like,
It probably, if you look at it, compare it to that, go back to the old video of comparing work hours, they probably got time. Our officers don't.
Yeah.
They on that call 24/7, 7 days a day. Shifts is crazy.
System in the U.S. Civilian oversight of police is a crucial check on power, but its implementation varies widely across the U.S. Some states have robust civilian review boards with investigative and disciplinary authority, while others rely on internal affairs units within police departments. This patchwork system can lead to inconsistencies in accountability. In Europe, civilian oversight is often more centralized and standardized. Independent police complaints, commissions, or inspectorates have the power to investigate misconduct, recommend disciplinary action, and even refer cases to prosecutors. Policing culture, community versus authority. Another key difference between U.S. and European police forces is their overall relationship with the public.
Yep.
In the U.S., policing often has an authoritarian undertone. The term us versus them is a common sentiment, where officers view themselves as protectors of the public, often positioning themselves above the citizens they serve. This mentality can sometimes lead to a more confrontational approach in interactions with the public. In contrast, European policing tends to have a more community-oriented approach. The philosophy of policing by consent is central to many European nations, particularly in the UK. British police, for example, pride themselves on not carrying firearms and often emphasize their role as part of the community, not separate from it. The idea is to build trust with citizens through transparency, respect, and communication. This approach fosters a sense of collaboration, where police officers are seen as problem solvers rather than enforcers of law and order. The difference in police culture often extends to how police officers engage with protests, public gatherings, and civil disobedience. In the U.S., large-scale protests have sometimes led to violent clashes with law enforcement, with police using riot gear, tear gas, and rubber bullets to disperse crowds. On the other hand, European police forces are more likely to use dialogue, negotiation, and a gradual response to maintain order in similar situations. In countries like the Netherlands and Spain, for example, public protests are often managed by officers who engage in conversation with protest leaders to prevent violence before it escalates. Public perception and trust. Finally, the public perception of the police is shaped by the differences in their training, tactics, and oversight. In the U.S., trust in police is a complex and often contentious issue. Incidents of police violence, particularly against Black Americans, have eroded public confidence in law enforcement, especially in communities of color. Movements like Black Lives Matter have highlighted the need for police reform, including changes to how officers are trained, how they interact with the public, and how accountability is handled. However, some communities in the U.S. still have a high level of trust in their local police, and efforts to improve police-community relations continue across the country. In Europe, public trust in police tends to be higher on average. While there are certainly instances of unrest or dissatisfaction with law enforcement, particularly in countries like France and Spain, where protests against police violence have occurred, the overall perception of police is generally more positive. This is largely due to the emphasis on community engagement, lower levels of militarization, and more robust accountability mechanisms. However, European police are not without their own challenges, particularly when it comes to issues like immigration, police brutality, and protests. While both American and European police forces aim to maintain public safety, their approaches to policing, use of force, community engagement, and accountability differ significantly. American police forces tend to be more heavily armed, more focused on immediate law enforcement, and face greater challenges related to accountability. European police forces, on the other hand, often have longer training periods, emphasize community engagement and de-escalation, and generally have stronger oversight mechanisms. Understanding these differences is crucial not only for comparing policing strategies, but also for ongoing discussions about the future of law enforcement in both regions.
It just kind of was like very eye-opening, I feel, as far as like, once again, it's just different everywhere, but also like the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they want you to trust them, which you should want to trust people that are, their job is to help and save your lives or whatever. But it just sucks because, like you said, in the U.S.
It started early with
it's not like that. We're over there. I mean, for them to not carry any guns, that's crazy.
And they probably, like I said, it goes back to starting with that, figuring out the issue. And I feel like America has allowed it to get so bad.
Yeah.
I think getting back to, well, if we ever were on that side of a good, like getting to the good of all, of people just trusting and all that, I think is just a long shot because of how bad the media and everybody just
Definitely
separated the people from cops. It's crazy here, but this is crazy. I mean, it's good to see these, like, when we react to like this type of stuff. Like, not only is it like, sometimes I know some people are, oh, it's depressing, but it's not, because it's educating us on how
Definitely.
they function and how we function, how their money is, how their food is, everything. It ain't even just about a police video. It's about everything.
And honestly, I just love that we're able to get this knowledge of other places and see how they're living, how their rules are. So,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I joke around and say I'm mad or whatever, but I'm really deeply not. Like, don't take it serious, you guys. But sometimes it's just like, wow.
It's
like,
just educational, you know.
like, damn.
That's why, like I said, when we react to the other one, it's not the whole teardown thing. It's the truth, you know, facts. You're getting.
You can't be blinded by it either. You
Yeah.
got to be honest with yourself and be like, damn, that sucks.
Like, nobody's saying they hate America. They're just proving facts of certain things, you know. And I'm pretty sure there's stuff in other countries or other places that got things that's worse than the movie we got. It's just comparing apples and oranges, really. So that's all it is. Don't get all worked up and get your panties in a bunch, you know. Laugh it
Take
off.
that wedgie out.
But we'll see you guys on the next one.